Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming tonight. My name is Greg Bohenko.
I'm Alexander Martinez.
And as current entrepreneurs, we're programmed to identify opportunities to innovate. And that's what we're doing tonight. We're here to exhibit a new hybrid credit card that is designed to help and serve your customers, your members. It is.
Okay, you can call it. We won't get too worked up on it.
Yeah, designed to help and serve your members. We'll keep it with members. It's focused on building credit worthiness, as well as attracting a new market of customers to DCU that you haven't seen before. This will ultimately build revenue, which creates a better credit union for your members. This is auto credit. So our motto for our new program is innovate, build, and serve. Innovate. To innovate the current system to allow people to have a chance to build credit worthiness who don't have any or have not ideal credit. Build. We want to build a program that creates a win-win situation for DCU and its members. And serve, and that's the most significantly, we want to serve the general public with an opportunity that they've never had before. So I'll give you a snapshot of our business concept. We are a credit card with the principles of a debit card. In essence, we're a hybrid and a new credit card to the market. What an auto credit swipe would do is, as you're at the store and you swipe for your product, that money that you swipe will be taken from your checking account and placed in a holding account. The bank will loan the money to the customer, and at the end of the month, the payment due will automatically pay the bank back with no risk.
Risk management is one of the most critical points to any financial firm. When you swipe your credit card, we're going to minimize the risk for the bank. The way we do it is having a credit line equal to your checking balance. What happens is, as you make a purchase, your funds decrease in your checking balance as they get transferred into a holding account, which is not accessible by the customer. At the same time, DCU would initialize a small credit loan whose funds are transferred to the seller so that the buyer may receive the product. During this transaction, the funds are collateralized first, and second, at the end of the month, it's automatically paid off. Therefore, there is no interest, late payments, or any overdraft fees. Our market is basically the people who, for example, suffered the 2008 economic recession, or people who are trying to build new credit and don't have, previous credit. This is a snapshot from Google of the search terms that build credit and secured credit card. As you can see, since 2008 to 2013, the demand for these searches have been increasing. Therefore, our market is actually growing for these cards. Furthermore, prime and subprime home loans past 90 days are usually initiative for foreclosure. In 2007, Massachusetts subprime loans that went foreclosure were higher than the national average. Therefore, Massachusetts, the state that DCU and, of course, New Hampshire serves in, actually has a pretty large market for this.
So what this auto credit program does is it creates opportunities for current members and also new potential members that you could acquire using our program. This stronger credit will allow your members to potentially buy more real estate, maybe a car that they couldn't get a loan on before, a boat, or maybe a vacation home, and it allows them to have lower rates for when they apply for loans in the future. And this more economic spending and more economic growth leads to one thing, and that's a stronger economy. So our goals and objectives are simple. We really want to create creditworthiness in a way that wasn't possible before. We also want to help reconstruct creditworthiness of people who might have made a bad decision or are looking for a way to rebuild their credit. And one of the ways we do that is, since it's an automatic payment, we were thinking of how can we train our members to actually pay back their loans or be incentivized. So we created a program where every month you'll receive a statement for what you spent on your auto credit. And you'll have the option to take action and reply back to the bank saying, yes, I confirm this. And that almost trains someone like a regular credit card payment at the end of the month. So if you do take action, you'll get reward points for that action. If you take nothing and no action, you'll get nothing.
Because there's no interest, late payments, or overdraft fees, the financial firm wouldn't make money. So in order to do this, we have to charge either a monthly or a yearly fee tagged onto the credit card. The revenue that's used, because DCU is not for profit, that excess revenue can be used to lower credit card interest rates, lower loan interest rates, and even risk for the bank in general. Furthermore, you can even create a minimum account balance, which creates more liquidity, which is very crucial for any financial firm to survive. Long-term risks include inflated creditworthiness, but at the same time, the credit card won't take your score from a 100 to a 600. The rewards are, as I said before, greater revenue, which can induce more services for your members at a lower cost. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Is there anything comparable out there in the market already? I mean,
So-
I love the idea, I love the concept of building credit or repairing credit, and the idea of building discipline. What's out there that's comparable?
So there is secured credit cards and a collateralized loan. A secured credit card, usually you have to enter a deposit first, and that would become your credit line. But what happens, that creates an opportunity cost, because let's say you have $1,000, right? And you want that to be your credit line. So you deposit $1,000 into the bank savings account, they freeze that account, and they keep that $1,000. They return it to you within, whatever the time period is, 12 months, etc. But that's an opportunity cost, because if I go to spend $30 that month, now I have $1,000 that I can't touch and $30 that I have to pay. So in total, that'd be, for example, $1,030, right? Even though I get that $1,000 back, it's an opportunity cost in the long run. Furthermore, a collateralized loan works very similar, because you could use CDs, savings accounts, or take equity off a house or a car, for example. But it's the same thing, where it is an opportunity cost in the sense of having the saving account being frozen, because it's assets that you can't touch. Versus this, the assets, it's live. As you make those transactions, that collateral is being placed as you go. So there is no opportunity cost.
So the limit at all times matches the transactional account?
The checking balance, correct.
So if a deposit was taken out from either an ATM or from the bank, then the amount of the credit line would also.
Would fluctuate throughout the month, correct.
I love the idea of this for our students, because when you graduate, you're also going to be looking for jobs and they're going to do a credit check. It would be interesting to tie it with student loans and somehow have you graduate with clean credit and be ready to be screened for a job.
Exactly. And furthermore, you can even set limits on it. So for example, you can only be on this card for 2 years as one of those restrictions, so that members will have to go into an unsecured credit card so that the bank can foresee future profits off the payments and interest.
And one thing about I know someone was going to ask a question, but one thing about the college students is it says that only 35% of college students right now have a credit card, and it's hard to get credit if you have no history.
Exactly.
But there was also a survey done in 2012 that said 7 out of 10 college students knew it was very important to have a good credit score. And so there's this stipulation there, and that's where we found an area to innovate.
For example, and as well adding on to that, the idea behind training is that creditworthiness is really trustworthiness. How much do you trust someone with your the bank's money? The way we want to train people so that they do realize the importance of actually looking at their bills and stuff is by having that statement cycle, which Craig explained earlier. So when they receive that statement, they'd have to actually mail back or through the website, depending on if they receive paper or electronic bills, that they do confirm, and they would receive whatever the reward percentages are for that credit card. And if they don't reply, the credit still builds regardless. What happens is that they just won't receive the rewards, which sometimes could be cash back, it could actually be points that they could use later on. So in essence, it is cash that there is an incentive, to make sure that you do look at your bills, that you do submit them on time to the bank.
Do you think there's a potential of people being interested in it if you structured it in a way where you didn't have a rewards program and you didn't have a fee associated with it up front?
You mean if you don't have a...
In other words, I think you talked about, if I remember correctly, like an annual fee or some type of revenue
Right.
to cover the cost of the rewards and everything else. If we basically said no rewards, no fee, do you any thoughts on whether that would be as attractive? Is it the rewards that's attracting people, do you think, or is it the ability to rebuild the credit?
It's the service that you're providing, which is to build credit risk-free for them and also for the bank, because they don't have to worry about having a late payment ever, because it's automatic. Furthermore, the bank doesn't have to worry about losing money because it's collateralized instantly as the credit card swipes. And that's something that Americans want. Americans want systems that are easy, intuitive, and quick. We don't want to sit in an office and have to fill out collateralized loan papers every month. So this is something that would make the process quicker, and it's an innovation.
Have either one of you worked at a financial institution before?
No, I own a real estate investing and lending company. That's about the only
Okay.
finance I
I
have.
own a research and development company.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering because you seem to be pretty familiar with it, that's why.
What are your majors?
Finance management.
Business, economics, and mathematics.
Holy cow. You're an overachiever in my eyes. I was fortunate to graduate with an undergraduate.
Hey, you did all right, Judy.
My opinion on that, on the charging a fee compared to the rewards
Yeah.
program, is people are driven by incentives. So if we have the incentive that you'll get your money back every time you take action that month, then that will train people better to know how to pay their credit card back when they reach an unsecured credit card. So I think it would be ideal to have that rewards program in place along with the fee.
How much am I doing on time?
Can you use the mic? I was having a hard time hearing.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Usually, which I didn't really just, get it there.
That means I can't say anything.
This will be good.
That's the more dangerous one. The other question is, have you taken a look at some of the potential regulatory issues related to this? Since 2009 and 2008, there have been an awful lot of regulatory changes, especially related to credit card lending and consumer protection side of it. I don't know if you had any opportunity to look at any of those pieces.
Yes, we have looked at different regulatory aspects, and as far as we understand it, as looking at the law, the system would operate and work.
But that's our next step, is really meeting with an attorney and breaking this down and understanding the ins and outs of the regulation system.
As far as patents go, etc.
Okay.
But I see a very big demand for this right now, especially like Alex said, after the crisis and all. And you guys are DCU is located in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, which is the hub of universities and colleges in the world, in my opinion. So I think this is a great fit. This card can pass regulations with DCU.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks.